Welcome back to Consulting Room 5. You're with me, your host, Dr. Sue, and Dr. Moore, legal counsel Kwesing, Sir Henry, and Dr. Amabwedu, who is the Deputy Director of Mental Health, Ghana Health Service. We are talking about how our mental health can influence our professional lives. But before we continue, are you having a sore throat? Grab your Lozati lozenges from any Unicom pharmacy. Unicom pharmacy is is all over the world, all over the country. You walk in and you can grab your Lozati lozenges. If you are watching your sugar, you can also grab the one that has sugar-free, the propolis, and you can sort yourself out. If you talk all day like how I'm talking, if you are a teacher, you do any work that makes you talk too much, grab your Lozati lozenges and you wouldn't regret at all. My beautiful outfit is also from Naspi Couture. Go on Instagram and Facebook and you would see Naspi Couture, GH, and she will make a very beautiful dress for you. So, doctors and legal practitioner and a banker. So I have 4 strong professional groups here, and we are discussing how our profession can help us in our mental health and also help us to achieve or be productive enough. Dr. Bwedu, I would like to ask how we can be resilient in our workplace so we can achieve whatever we want to achieve without stressing ourselves.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sue. I think that I'm going to digress a bit, like Dr. Lawyer Kwame did. Speak for his profession. And so I think that
everybody is using my platform. Doctor, you come and pay.
Yeah, that's a very huge platform and we are grateful for the opportunity.
You're always welcome.
I want to say that a lot of times, even for those of us who work in mental health, you know, the stigma with mental health is so huge, it's so palpable that as mental health professionals, we are stigmatized and discriminated against. And so you would even realize that your own parents, for instance, when I said I wanted to do, mental health, the questions that came from even pastors were like, hey, of all the professions, my family members, of all the professions, this is what you want to do. Wouldn't you have done anything more? But what motivates us as, mental health professionals? For us, seeing the joy on the faces of family members and even that individual that was once, very much mentally unwell. So from the person that has minimal stress, just common distress, to the individual that has severe mental illness, that is seen on the street, stripped naked, dirty, gathering, all the rubbish and all that. We know that even for that severest form of mental illness, for about 70% of that population, with the adequate treatment and the right support, these individuals can bounce back to life and contribute their quota to the society in which we live. So that is our motivation, to be able to bring people back and give people hope.
Okay.
Mental health challenges are preventable. Some are preventable. If you look at, even the risk factors for mental health or the causes, we have biological, we have psychological and social risk factors. And some of them are preventable, and mental illnesses are manageable. Just like we are able to manage chronic illnesses like hypertension, diabetes, and all that, we live with it. That is our motivation, working to improve the mental well-being of people that everywhere, of every individual, and even for the individual that is suffering some mental illness, there is hope, and that's for the family. So having said that, I'm grateful for the opportunity. Now I come to the question. Please remind me of the question, Dr. Sue.
How can we be resilient towards our work? I mean, in the stress environment, how can we be resilient to increase productivity?
Thank you very much once again. Resilience is, the ability to bounce back from adversity. It's not just the ability to bounce back, but rather, you bounce back from adversity or from some challenge, with a renewed purpose. You would have, learned some lessons out of that experience. And then you being able to adapt to whatever challenge it is. Sometimes, there's very little you can do about the situation. I think that Lawyer Kwame mentioned the fact that some issues you can never do anything about it. Yes, recognizing your circles of control and your circles of influence is very, very important, that we know that there are some things that we cannot do anything about. And so if you come to that kind of situation or in that circumstance, what do? You would have to adapt to the situation to be able to overcome it. We also have to realize that in life, there are ups and downs. The professional life is not a bed of roses. Seriously. He mentioned that sometimes we think that being unemployed, is a big. But even for the person that is gainfully employed, what you go through each and every day, the circumstances that come your way that you have not even anticipated for. So, I mean, whatever comes your way, for me, I say that even in the midst of the most difficult circumstance, what we would even see as, the darkest of all, there's always that silver lining around it. You ask yourself, okay, for this particular circumstance, how did I contribute to it? A lot of times we like to blame people. But again, be mindful of your circle of control. There are some things you can never do anything about. You cannot prevent it. I think, yes, you can never prevent, you can never do anything about it. And if it happens, how did I contribute to it? Okay? So that you stop blaming people and see how you contributed to, because in that way, it is easier to manage. It is easier to, prevent another one. And then what are the lessons that I can learn from this particular experience, so that when these things do happen to us, we are not up in arms thinking that, oh, there's really nothing that can be done. The situation is so bleak, there's no light at the tunnel, but rather looking at every better version of yourself. I think that resilience these days, especially for our younger people, is a big issue. I think that we should have a whole discussion on the topic of resilience, especially for our our younger generation, because there are a lot of complaints where our younger people are unable to cope with the stresses that we seem to have.
Yeah,
the normal
I think it's one area that we really need to project. We need to talk to people. But one question before you leave, Doctor. So how can organizations and institutions help people with the management of mental health? I mean, their employees, how will they help them in terms of mental health? And then afterwards, you give us your final words.
Sue.
Can you please hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, I was saying that how can employers help their employees to motivate them with, managing their mental health to increase productivity?
So that's a very good question. So the role of our managers.
Yes.
The role of, even the organizations or the organization in which we work, concerning our mental well-being. First and foremost, I would want to say that organizations should have, a workplace policy. for mental well-being, for mental health. It should be such that we should have guidelines, make how do you call it, available some form of resources for individuals to be able to access mental health care. So I think Henry, in his submission, mentioned that his boss, recommended that he goes to see the clinical psychologist or some counseling of a sort. And he emphasized the need for us to have such establishments where there is that form of mental health support whatsoever, where people can go there in confidence and talk about their issues. So that's one thing that our organizations can do. There's a need for us to normalize the conversations about mental health. And so it should be okay for people to say that, oh, I feel distressed, I have depression, I feel, I'm very, very anxious about a situation. If we can confidently talk about the fact that I have diabetes, I have hypertension, I have HIV, and everybody looks at us as if we are coming from the moon, it should be, easy for people to talk about the fact
Yeah,
that
mental
I
health
also have a
issues. Yeah.
yes. And
Yeah.
then even accessing mental health care, it is okay to get into therapy. We need also to demystify, the myths surrounding mental health. Sometimes we think that when people have had mental health breakdowns, they can never recover. And so in our workplaces, we don't have any form of, return policies to bring these people back into, the workplace after they have sought help. So that is something that, we should
They
leaders,
should also look at.
managers,
They said
organizations
when
can
the
do.
mad person is recovered and the person doesn't recover fully, the small ones that you use for the kids, the literal translation. Anyway,
Yes,
Dr.
yes.
Wedu,
So,
we will thank
Dr. Sue,
you.
please let me use this. You see, that word you just used is highly, highly stigmatizing. So we
Exactly.
no longer want, yes, to hear, mad
Mad.
people. We can say
Mentally
crazy.
challenged.
Yes. Sometimes our language
It's
itself,
a literal translation.
I know, but this is also a platform we can
Exactly.
use to educate,
Yes.
people. I also want to say that there's one source of mental health distress in the work environment.
Okay.
Bullying,
Okay.
abuse. It can be very, very subtle. We need to put in measures for people to handle that. We should put in measures where people can, any form of abuse, whether sexual, physical, whether psychological, everything. We should have that policy where people can, access help, can report, and there is proper handling of the issues, and not necessarily putting that place in a more vulnerable position because
Right.
he or she is identified. It is very important that we allow work-life integration. We used to talk about, balance, but it's not balancing. So
Okay.
now we want to say that we should be able to
Integrated.
integrate our
Okay.
lives. Yes. Lawyer was talking about, making sure that you have family time, you have this, you have that. It's interesting that, a patient can call a doctor in the middle of the night for no reason and would just say that doctor mintimenda. The fact that you're unable to, yes, he's waking you up because
Because
he
he
or
cannot
she
sleep.
cannot sleep. And so it's important that we set boundaries, whatever your profession is.
Yes.
We set boundaries. We should have those boundaries. If it's work, it's work. When you go home, because when your family suffers, that aspect of your life has a huge impact even on your professional life. So it is very important that we are looking at people as, whole human beings and not just as a professional. And we have a responsibility towards ourselves.
Dr.
What else
Boydu,
can I?
we would want to thank you. I think I have to invite you into the studios another time because we have a lot to talk about on mental health. Dr. Amabwedu is the Deputy Director of Mental Health, Ghana Health Service. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr.
Yeah.
Sue.
So we'll all talk about our final words. Sir Henry, tell us in 1 minute your final words on how you're going to advise the younger ones who are entering your profession. What advice would you give them to be able to cope and also be productive?
All right, thank you so much. Doc, you said a lot. Thanks so much. I've taken a lot of clue from what you've said, and I'm just
1 minute.
All right. So first of all,
Thank you.
humans are not machines. We are human beings with emotions. And young people, when you go out there at the beginning of your career, it's the learning curve. That is the time you acquire all the knowledge, you do all the studies, you learn everything that you have to learn at the beginning stage. So that at least by the time you climb up to the level where the pressure and all those things start setting in, you already have full knowledge of what to be expected. So you can do it. Just be strong and be firm, and you can be at the top. Thanks.
Sir Henry, would you want to add some 30 seconds?
So I just want to add this, especially with our leaders, employers, those who we report to. Let us treat our people with some kind of some fairness. Let's show compassion. Let us commend them when they do well, because, like I said, we are humans. If you start doing all these things, the person feels part of the whole team. The person feels wanted. The person feels important, and some of these things can go a long way to help the person have a very sound mind and be able to deliver and become productive at the work environment. I mean, there are the little things that we do. Sometimes we ignore them. We think it's all about money. Oh, I pay you salary, so I expect you to deliver all this. But it goes beyond that. Just thank you. Well done. You are doing well. We acknowledge your effort.
Showing appreciation.
Yes, it's appreciation. The reward system should be holistic, not just monitoring aspect. And that is what's going to help us have a very sound people working with healthy mentality and deliver on the job. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Henry Fry. Dr. Moore?
Yes, I would like to jump off of what Sir Henry was saying. When I reflect, sort of, step back from my personal career, family, all those things, I try to think about, okay, what is the bigger goal, the bigger thing that we all share, be it myself, my family, society, and stepping back from each of our professions specifically, I really think that the bigger goal is to take care of each other and to take care of, obviously, oneself, but to take care of each other, and in that we take care of ourselves. And so each of us in the different professions are doing specifically that, but to keep in mind that any action that you take, be it within your profession or within your personal life, is it caring for someone, or is it caring for yourself with kindness and compassion, as he has said? And if it is, then you're doing the right thing.
So whether it's you're passionate about it, whether you're passionate or whether it affects your mental health or not, you could go about, or we should prioritize that as well.
Yes, of course, prioritize your mental health. But if you're taking an action that is in caring and in kindness, then that is the place to be, and I think that if it's in the right place, that it will contribute to your mental health in a positive way.
Okay. Counsel, one minute.
Okay. Yeah? Yes, all too soon we are coming to an end. But then quickly, I think because we're using the various professions and then ourselves our case study, we didn't also talk about some of the external factors within our profession that could affect the individual professionally. So I think even within the workspace where we are, if you take ourselves outside the stresses that we go through individually, the working environment also, our staff members, our friends, and so on and so forth, also add up to the already stress situation that we find ourselves in. Importantly, I think because we can always have the opportunity to see professionals for advice, we could fall on our individual friends, our family members, where we need to talk to them. Merely talking to somebody alone will help in solving the problem. Health situations, mental health is very important. We should make the effort in solving some of these things. Quickly, my regards to my colleagues at McCarthy and Associates. If I don't mention Eddie McCarthy and Dory, if I go home, they will punish me.
McCarthy and what?
Associates.
Okay.
Eddie McCarthy is a lecturer at Wisconsin.
Eddie McCarthy.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Sir Eddie McCarthy.
Yes.
You,
a good friend.
My good friend, right? Thank you so much, my guest, my wonderful guest. You have been very, very, very instrumental in this discussion. Dr. Amabwedu, who is the Mental Health Deputy Director, Ghana Health Service, Mr. Henry Fry, and Dr. Mira Moore, and then Esquire, Lawyer Kwame Kwesing. Thank you so much for coming on this show, and we are very happy that we have you all. We thank you for the extensive discussion that we have had on mental health and how it influences our professional lives. I hope we've all had a productive discussion. Viewers, we are so grateful for having us. Have us next week, same time. Bye. Hello and welcome to Consulting Room 5 with me, your host, Dr. Sue. We are continuing from our previous discussion. We're still on mental health and how it affects our profession or our professional lives. We still have Dr. Mira Moore, who is a family medicine specialist, and then we have Lawyer Kwame Kwesing, Esquire, who is a legal practitioner. We have on Zoom Mr. Henry Fry, who is also a financial advisor and also a banker. And then we have our mental health deputy director, Dr. Amabwedu, who is also on Zoom with us. Hello, my ladies and gentlemen. You all welcome again to Consulting Room 5.
Thank you for having
with me.
Beautiful as usual.
I am. Thank you. So, Dr. Abwedu, I think you were telling us to prioritize our self-care. That should be on our priority list. We should always make sure that we take good care of ourselves. You are giving us some tips or techniques to prioritize our mental health. If you can continue from there, we'll be very happy.
Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Sue. So I was talking about, a few things about self-care. There's the need for us to eat well. A lot of times we go to, yes, there's a need for us to eat well. And eating well means, the right nutrition, in the right proportions, the right intervals. A lot of time we skip breakfast. We are working the whole day. We don't even have time to, take lunch. It's not good. There's a need for us to exercise. Any form of exercise, it is said that just 150 minutes the whole week, of exercise should be enough to take care of yourself. Because exercise, helps to boost our mood. It releases endorphins, which are the feel-good hormones, and then reduces or minimizes the release of the cortisol or the other stress hormones that are responsible for those conditions, mental health problems that we're talking about. There's the need for us to take our leave. I'm happy you mentioned that. Sometimes as professionals, we take our leave from our workplace and go and take contracts. So the whole year we are working. We might be out of the office, but rather we are working elsewhere.
Somewhere, seriously.
Then regular medical checkups is so important.
Okay.
You don't wait till we are birthday. You can have that as your birthday present for yourself. Go into the health facility, do a proper checkup. Your BP, your sugar, everything. For our men, you check, for your prostate conditions. For our women, our breast, cervical screening. All those things are very, very important. Another thing that we should be able to do is to one that is in charge, it's very easy to say no. Even when you are working under somebody, please, we can politely, ask people, tell people we are a bit full or we are a bit overwhelmed at a particular point in time, so that if they could pass on that to somebody else to do.
That's if you are given assignment that overwhelms your ability, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's very important to do that. There are some bad coping mechanisms or strategies that we adapt. So when we are tired, instead of resting, some of us would do, we do take, some teas. Some people do a lot of coffee, which has a lot of caffeine. People are doing energy drinks, and people, some people will do other substances, alcohol and all that. So over-the-counter medicines, if you're having a problem, please check in the health facility. Don't wait till you have a total breakdown. So these are some of the, self-care mechanisms. And in fact, everybody should have some way of relaxation. Know yourself. For some people, it's about praying. For some people, yoga, stretching. It's for some people, there are deep breathing exercises. There are so many strategies. When we go online, there's so much on YouTube that we can learn to be able to handle our stresses.
Doctor, may I use dancing?
Yes, I do a lot of, I don't know how to dance very well, but I dance a lot to ease my stress. I sing. Yes, I don't have a good voice, but I will sing.
Yeah.
Anything people would read. I mean, people, you can go to the beach. The sound of the waves is very, very soothing. I have a recording of that I use to relieve myself of stress.
Oh,
so
wow.
Anything that helps you relieve stress is very important. And of course, Sir Henry said that you should have somebody you can talk to. Right. There's no point struggling with any issue. Find somebody you can trust. And please, I would want to say that we are at a point or a place of privilege if somebody confides in us, so that if somebody does that, we don't go about broadcasting or telling every other person what that individual has told us. It's very important that we hold that, in confidence. If we cannot help that individual, it's very important that we reach out or help them reach out for help. And then when we feel overwhelmed, when all other coping strategies haven't worked, please let us seek professional mental health care. So I think that is how I would want to land. Thank you very
awesome.
much.
Yeah. Please, you are still there with us, Dr. Boadu. Don't go anywhere. So we are with Dr. Mora at the moment. What motivates you? And okay, firstly, how many people do you see in a day in your clinic?
Oh, okay. So I am nearing the end of my training, and so over the course of my training, they've steadily increased the amount of patients that I'm assigned. At this time, I see about 18 patients in a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay.
But Dr. Boadu, how many patients do you see in your consulting room a day? How many patients do you see in your consulting room a day, Dr. Boadu?
Oh, thank you very much. So now I'm not really in the clinical space, but on a good day, there were times that you could see over 50 patients. I've seen people or heard people talking about, in some time past, seen as many as, 100 patients, but you are care that we are giving to patients. So there's a need for us to look at that. Unfortunately, because we do not have enough mental health professionals, you are forced to see so many people within a day, which also has a negative impact for you as
yourself. Exactly. So you are talking about self-care.
Yeah. So yes. And even it's not the best, because if you are tired, it would have an impact, a negative impact on your work output. So if you are tired, you are slow in thinking, you lose concentration, you make mistakes, you are prone to accidents, poor judgment, and all that. So it's not really the best. And especially if you have a new case, somebody comes to the clinic for the very first time, you will spend not less than 45 minutes getting the information for that individual. And yet you have a whole, queue of people waiting for you at the consulting
room. Sir Henry, how many clients or customers do you attend to in a day, approximately?
So I will thank you so much. I'm going to say this, then I will add with a response to the question. First of all,
right.
Some of the stress we go through or the anxiety we face at our workplace are self-inflicted. And the reason why I'm saying self-inflicted is because sometimes because we don't prioritize our activities or our plan or whatever job we are doing, if we don't organize our table, we don't practice clean desk policy. When I say clean desk policy, I'm not only talking about making sure that you clear your decks, but the clean desk policy means that ensure that what you do today, you don't push it forward to tomorrow. So you realize that some people, because they don't have a very organized and a balanced work life, they end up heaping a lot of jobs that should have been done yesterday or some weeks ago. They put all together and then they want to use 1 day or 2 days to finish up. The deadline is already ahead of you and you need to start from now. So if you're able to organize yourself well,
some people are tea baggers. So tea bags, yes. Tea bag is the heat that will bring out the color. So we need the heat that. And you are saying it's not good.
Yeah. So you see the issue, if you don't balance it well and you don't start with the important things first. Once you solve the important things first, then it weighs down the anxiety and the stress. I have gone home several times, and in my sleep, I dream seeing myself doing presentation. I've seen myself sleeping, and you see figures running through my head, my net revenue position, and all those things. And it's because I have not been able to, resolve the issues. It's still there. I mean, so at the subconscious mindset, it's still ringing, even though I'm asleep. It is still there. So you think you are sleeping, but you're not sleeping. So what do? So what we do, as a banker, we see a lot of customers in a day. We plan our activities for the week. We break it down into bit by bit. So Monday, we are going to do ABC. Monday, these are the people we are going to target to help us, meet our deposit target or our loan portfolio target. These are the things we will do to be able to meet our numbers. Do you understand? So, yeah. And then midweek, by Wednesday, we do a review. We review just to find out whether or not we are on track. Are we meeting our numbers? If we are not meeting our numbers, what are the things that we are not doing right? What are the measures we need to put in place? Sometimes we even call our bosses. Charlie, bosses, where we are getting to heading staff. We need your support. We need your help. If we don't shout, my boss will always say, and I'm so proud of her. My boss is a lady, a very wonderful, very, very wonderful woman. And in fact, all my previous places, all my bosses have been they are women, and she will tell you, Henry, if you have any problem, scream, shout, don't sit at the corner there, don't contain all the problems. You get my point? So yeah. we need to use every available opportunity to be able to resolve our problems, and in so doing, we help reduce our stress level. One thing I want to add more before I go is we need to identify the triggers. What are the stress triggers in our lives? We are talking about how to manage it. It's like we have accepted that yes, we are actually in an environment where we can't do away with that. And that's true. But let's identify the stress. Sometimes you will see it's financial obligation, some financial burden. The person comes to work and he cannot concentrate because he has school fees to pay. Recently, I have to help somebody, with the school fees for the child going to the nursing school, just to top up a little bit so that he can be. And for a week, you could see that the guy wasn't himself. So I called him in my office. I said, "What's the problem? What's the issue?" And then he opened up and said, "This is what I'm going through." And so you realize that if you don't identify the triggers and you don't solve the triggers, it becomes a ripple effect. You come to work and the issues from home, the issues from church, issues from all over come follow you, it takes you to work, and then you're unable to concentrate at work. And before you realize, it has now degenerated into something that you cannot control. And once you cannot control the anxiety or the stress level, it leads you to depression. And if you don't take time, that is where it comes with all kinds of sicknesses and health issues, blood pressure issues. So please identify the triggers. Go and sleep, sit down, think about it.
Think
what
through.
are the things that
what if the triggers you have no control over?
Yes, so some you cannot do anything. You can only pray and trust God for a miracle. Trust me, you can pray. You can talk to the right people. You can listen to good music and listen to motivational messages. There are so many things. And Dr. Sue, I'm telling you, we cannot solve every problem in our lives. This we must accept. You can't solve. And the funny thing is that the irony of it is that the more you're solving problems, the more other
new ones come up. Yeah. So left, right, center.
Life one day at a time.
Yeah.
Today is the day the Lord has given to you. Be appreciative of today. Thank God for today. Appreciate the little small things that you do, and then reward yourself. Go and get yourself some nice, if it's some food, join somewhere, some malt. You see, we don't do all of these things, and before you realize, you are at the tight corner, and the only thing you can do is just to break down. Once you break down, that's the end.
Nothing.
Last one is the post-trauma disorder, post-trauma stress disorder. Doctor, I'm sure you throw more light on that. Some people are unable to
post-traumatic stress disorder. Yes. Is that what you want to talk about?
PTSD.
Yes. Doctor, thank you so much. Some people cannot overcome. I used to have a problem like that. I went through some very painful past, very, very painful.
Broken heart.
So many years. Oh, kakra. And I'm telling you, John is my friend. John knows some of them. And for so many years, I could not forgive myself. I could not understand. And the thing kept worrying me, disturbing me. So until I came to peace with my past. So guys, come to peace with your past. Let it, forget about the past. Otherwise, it will keep on. You get the flashbacks all over. And this is going to really impact your productivity at the work environment.
Thank you, Sir Henry. You are indeed a reverend. Or pastor.
all together.
All put together, combined. So what motivates you as a legal practitioner to do all other things, including your profession as well?
Yeah, Doc, they all drifted a bit, so let me also drift slightly. And then
before you answer my question, yes. Okay.
So, just at the tail end of Henry's submission.
Yeah.
Henry is a very big man in Ghana here.
Hey.
In the early 90s, during the introduction and formation of charismatism in Ghana here, he played a very active role in the IBWC, now Royal House Chapel. Henry was, let's say, the figure. If Royal House...
But that's his private life. Yeah, so Henry, would you like him to share here?
Oh, no. But he used that platform. He used that platform to help so many youth in the system. So I'm just letting you know the angle.
I'm seeking consent. We are a legal practitioner. I'm seeking consent.
I'm a lawyer. I'll take him on. He can't take me on legally. And we did MBA also together, so we'll be very close.
Okay.
All right. I like Dr. Ama
Boedu.
Ama Boedu. Yeah. She's so passionate about mental health in Ghana.
She is the Deputy Director of Mental Health. So we are talking to the right person.
We should give her more opportunities. And even if the opportunities do not come their way, they themselves should force themselves and come onto the public domain.
Okay.
Every now and then, throw more light, educate people, and so on and
Doctor,
so
on.
Because people are going through a lot in our country, especially the professionals.
Right.
We thought when you are unemployed, that is where all the pressures and but professionals are also going through a whole lot.
Yeah.
There comes a period, psychological, some professionals are unable to take the pressures by themselves. And when the situation is so overwhelming, some even end up taking their lives and so on and so forth. And from Henry's example, his own colleagues had to break down and die on the job. You see, and I'm sure such examples keep on recurring at other places also. Now, I will do a very great disservice to my profession and the field I belong to. The judicial service and the legal profession. Please, now that I have your platform, permit me to use 1 minute to use your platform to appeal to the now the newly nominated Chief Justice.
Okay.
Justice Bafo Boni is now in charge of our legal, the judiciary. Now, you see, we are talking about stress and how it affected. More judges,
how it affects our professional life.
Yes, more judges are going through stress. Naturally, they have no choice. From the Supreme Court to appeals court judges, to high court judges, circuit court judges, this is what they don't have any mind of themselves. Every single judge in Ghana here is going through trauma.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not deceiving you. It's because of the setup. So if a system is not working, are we not human beings? Don't we have managers of the system? Can't we change the system? In a day, a judge could take about 20 cases. How? You see, 20 cases, one judge. And the legal profession is said that a judge cannot just listen to this party, and come out with...
No.
You have to go through processes. Procedures. And so one person alone, a judge is going through procedures and processes. Another person. So in a day, 20 cases. One person, one judge.
That's overwhelming.
They are also human beings. The fact that they have chosen to be at the bench, you see, to become judges, and they have no choice, doesn't also mean that we should kill them naturally, you see, before they are dead. So I'm passionate about this, and I'm on my knees appealing to the Chief Justice nominee that they should seriously do something about it.
Right.
I can suggest some proposal or some solution. The fact is that if you have 100 judges handling 1,000 cases, now let's get 300 judges to handle the same 1,000 cases. And that alone will kind of reduce the stress and the burden on these innocent judges who are trying their best. So now the rippling effect is that most judges transfer their frustrations onto the lawyers. You go to a court early morning and a judge, the mood you see alone should tell you that today the lawyers are not going to have it easy. Meanwhile, the environment should be a cordial and friendly one. But the stress alone, every case that you finish, you must write a ruling. You see, the ruling are the intermittent one in between. When you get to, for instance, I would say, no, Dr. Siu is not supposed to be on this case. There will have to be a ruling on that particular one. Now, when the entire case is done, the judge will also have to write judgment. And judgment is not like one-page thing. You go through a whole lot of things, and it's a human being writing. It's being transcribed into before it's printed. One case alone. Then imagine the other cases also. Then the lawyer's aspects, the CJ could still streamline it so that it could help the lawyer, because the lawyers don't have much say. Much as the judges are going through stresses, the lawyers have no choice, because if a judge is taking 20 cases a day, when you go there in the morning, you see about 30 lawyers lined up. Why should that be so? We are in 2025, and we don't need overcrowding in our courtrooms. They could assign cases based on time. Some judges are trying. Others try, it didn't work out. But I am saying, no matter the situation, all lawyers are not supposed to overcrowd in their courtroom at 9 a.m.
So you can schedule the time.
Yeah, you should schedule the time. That the first 5 cases, you should come between 9 and 10 o'clock. From 6 to 10 cases, you people should come from 10 o'clock up to 11 o'clock.
So you are telling us your profession. I mean, strategies that they can use to reduce
because lawyers
the workload?
Yes, because lawyers are going through stress. Because when you wake up 5 a.m., 5 a.m., you have to make sure if it's district or circuit court, they sit at 8:30. All of you have to come at 8:30. For what reason?
All aligned. Okay.
Meanwhile, if they gave you 2 p.m., you could be sleeping and relaxing. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So that you come at 12 o'clock to reduce some of the stress.
I asked you, these are very good strategies though, but I asked you what actually motivates you. So this one you have talked about the demotivation, demotivation techniques. So, but then, what are some of the things that motivate you?
Yeah, I sought permission before singing because I wanted, sitting on this, your big platform, if I don't use it to have a passionate appeal to the CJ, I will be doing a serious disservice to the legal profession and then some lawyers also. Now,
so the legal counsel, the legal fraternity should have to pay.
No, they will come and pay. Don't worry. They will come and even sponsor you. Don't worry about that. Now, you see, when the other professor, Mr. Fry and then Dr. Bwedu, okay, Madam, were all talking about. In my case, I don't allow my client or my work to put pressure on me from the onset. Already now, do you get it? So I will not allow external stresses or factors to affect the human being first. You call me if it's an emergency. I'm human enough. We know how to handle emergency cases. I will freeze some other cases and give attention to yours. There are times people will call you, client will call you, Counselor, where are you? I want to come and meet you. You tell them, come tomorrow. The person then says he wants to come today. I will not allow your desires to affect mine. I'll probe further. What is the case about? At least give me the topical sentence. If I know the situation, then I will know that it's an emergency situation or it's something that we could handle tomorrow or some other day other than today. By so doing, at least I have minimized situations.
Right.
I've been able to control things under me. And on a normal day, if you go to law firms, you see clients line up. That is not me or me, you won't see me. I will not even be available for you to come and line up in the first place. I take, like I said initially, I take what I will be able to take within the week, within a day. So if the day I have scheduled for 5 meetings, that is all. All other cases that come, they will go into carry forward. I'm not going to add them to what I have today. But in most law firms, you go there and you realize that everybody is lined up. Those coming today, the bumping people and all that. And you see the lawyer's face alone and you see tiredness. But one also feels the more people come, the more I also get my money.
He gets,
You understand? But like I said, life is not all about the money. It's not all about the love for my job and so on and so forth. There are other things to life. Your mental health is very important. Your health itself is also very important. And you should enjoy what you do, okay? And then your family should also have the benefit of you along the line. Madam
Bwedu, Dr.
Bwedu's portion that we should take care of ourselves and
self-care.
I, for one, you see me at the sports aspect also. There's the weekends are for football matches and so on and so forth.
Do you play the football or you watch it?
At my if you go, I don't play. Some play all right, but me, I do more of the watching. You go, you support Chelsea, you support Real Madrid. And if you watch it at home, you won't feel it because you want to distress. So drive your car somewhere. Go to where these boys, the Zongo boys are watching. Go and be with them. Then they say,
hear the comments.
The insult is all part of distressing to watch brain and to distress, you see, and enrich our mental faculty and so on and so forth. There's a phenomenon also that I want us to address. More of the youth are picking up accumulated stress that they are not aware of. Solitude, being in a state of solitude is not good at all. Most people go like, I don't want trouble. So I will not even go public. I like being indoors. This concept on me, I'm an indoor person, I'm an indoor person. Much as it has some advantages, God has created us in such a way that human beings are social beings.
Yeah.
Mr. Fry was saying that the church, going to church in a way, initially I was also going to say that, and then he has mentioned it, so double silencer. The church is an environment where we will meet other people. You understand? We can chat with them, talk to some other, even if we have problems and so on and so. Because we've been to church, we meet people and all. Even if you don't have friends, at least there's one pastor that you'll be closer to.
Yeah.
You talk about all this thing with them, and then it refreshes you along the line. Those who stay indoors, claiming that they don't want trouble and all that. I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you that health-wise, it is not good because they
legal
say
consultant, lawyer,
vitamin D.
Doctor.
Yes,
legal,
vitamin D, is that not it?
So we should step out for vitamin D.
Vitamin D, you have to step out. Some people stay from morning to the night, no light.
Okay.
Especially those doing the Sakawa and the fraud people. They stay indoors the whole day, 24 hours. You won't see them outside. Health-wise, it's affecting us. Psychologically, too, we don't get the opportunity to interact and socialize. Socialization is very important.
Now, doctor, lawyer.
Hallelujah.
Pastor Kwesing. Thank you. So before we go on a commercial break, Dr. Moore, what really motivates you in your profession to be able to attend to your 18 people maximum per day?
Yes. Well, I wanted to say that I agree.
Like the judges 18 per day.
Well, I agree 100% with Lawyer John about the importance, I cannot stress it enough, of interacting with others, of coming outside. Everything that you said, I don't know if I could say it any better. So in the United States especially, it's the area that I can comment on, people are very isolated. And one of the things that whenever I'm working in the hospital that I fear the most when I take a person's medical history, part of that history is the section called the social history, where we ask, you know, who do you live with, where do you live, you know, what is your access to food, your access to water, things like that. And when I have patients, and it seems to be the sickest ones, who say, oh no, I have no one. And I say, oh, you know, just maybe a neighbor or an emergency contact or somebody. No, I have no one. I live alone in an apartment or on the street. And that sentence alone is what terrifies me more than anything else they can tell me. Even, you know, even if they say I have cancer or I have something else, but those things do not frighten me as much, because if they have a family, if they have a support system, whatever their remaining time looks like, it will be a time of support. It will be a time of sharing love, of sharing with people that love you, and those relationships will sustain them, you know, regardless of what their illness is. But when someone tells me I have no one, even if they are perhaps not physically ill at that time, I see the path and the road ahead for them to be very painful, especially for their mental health, but their physical health as well suffers.
So when you walk into your consulting room and you see 18 people lined up, and let's say as a mother, you breastfed throughout the night.
Yes.
And then
I did.
Yes. And so you walk into your consulting room, you see 18 people lined up. What comes to mind?
You know, I think different days I feel different things. As it has been mentioned, I think already, it is a privilege oftentimes to be able to be the person that someone comes to asking for help. And after so many years of training and preparation and studying, to be in the position of being able to be that someone that may make a difference. I often try to reflect on the gratitude and the privilege that it is to be in my position. Of course, there are days when I see them lined up and I'm already, you know, exhausted, either from caring for my family or I often work nights on call, and so having worked all night and then going to work, you know, the next day or the following day, sometimes you haven't fully recovered, and that affects your work, as already been mentioned. It affects the quality of your work, and it comes back to lack of sleep. I do feel that there's a direct correlation to how much I've slept with how much good cheer and kindness that I can provide at work. So that is true. So and then you asked me about my motivation, but I don't know if we have time.
No, you can go ahead.
You can go. So I think primarily the things that motivate me are many, but among the main things are the examples of my mentors. I want to mention my mother first and foremost. She's also a family doctor. Okay. And then her colleagues that I grew up with have been great examples to me of how to be, of how to sustain a profession over a long period of time, of how to care for your family.
So to you, are they very rich to you? Looking at them, are they very rich that you aspire that when I get there, maybe I'll get all that I need? And so
do you mean in monetary terms?
Monetary riches,
no, they are not very rich. I think especially my mother and her colleagues, they've chosen to practice medicine in settings where people do not have a lot of money.
In rural
areas, as well as working for what we call in the U.S. federally qualified health centers. Okay. And so the people that they care for are under the public aid, which is paid for by the government. Mm-hmm. And so the reimbursement for those job positions are not a private. There is private medical care in the United States, but the pay is different.
So it's mostly the passion, you having the passion and self-fulfilling, right? To see people, to help people, and that motivates you. That's what you're saying.
Yes, that does help motivate me. And also now that I have children, being an example for them, I feel that weight
you step now as
and
a
that
role
responsibility to be someone that they can look up to and that they can rely on.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Moore. We'll go on a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll get our mental health deputy director to take us through the things that we can do to be resilient and also to stay healthy, because we are talking about mental health and how it affects our professional lives. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.